I'm someone I'm quite jhalla in real life, genuinely. Like I like the idea of dressing up, but I also like the idea of someone bringing me those clothes and me just wearing them. When I came to Bombay the first 2 years, I couldn't afford getting a makeup artist and a hairstylist for every event. I couldn't afford it. Today, my life is very different, but the first 2 years that I was in Bombay, I've done my own makeup and hair for every red carpet event.
Joining us on Pink Villa today is one of the most diverse actresses. She's done films in Hindi, Kannada, and Telugu. But leaving that aside, she's going to join us today and talk about beauty and fashion because she somehow excels at that too and always looks fabulous. Thank you for joining us today, Kriti.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I want to know how important a role does fashion play to you as an actor?
Yeah, I think it's very, very important to make sure that your character not only speaks the lines but also connects with the audience through how you look. I think it's very, very important how your character conducts itself, the kind of jewelry, the kind of hair and makeup, the kind of clothes you wear. But of course, you also need to be a good actor to pull all of that off. So I think it needs to be a proper balance.
So, would you say you're open to experimenting when it comes to fashion more now than previously?
With all my stylists, they've really had to push me.
Really?
Tell me that, yeah, they've had to push me because I'm someone I'm quite jhalla in real life, genuinely. Like I like the idea of dressing up, but I also like the idea of someone bringing me those clothes and me just wearing them. The last 2 years have been very, very different for me in terms of experimenting, in terms of trying out something that's outside my comfort zone. You know, you get very comfortable after a point in your life and you're like, हाँ ठीक है यार. But I now get excited. I mean, everyone's tried to push their boundaries, push my boundaries, and say, you know, you should try this and you should try that. But you will never ever see me wearing anything that makes me even the slightest bit uncomfortable, because I think if it shows on your face, I mean, you just kill the whole vibe.
So, coming to your outfits on screen, I want to know if there has been ever a time when you were so attached to an outfit or an accessory that you just like wanted to take it off and keep it for yourself even after shoot.
So this is something I do with every film. I have this little box of goodies that is my personal stuff and things that make me happy. I still remember in my first movie, the first movie I ever did, it was the first time I stepped into a mango store. And before I did films, I wasn't fashion conscious. I was all of 17 when I started off. College student, can't afford mango. So I was very excited when they took me to the store to shop for me, because that time styling was very different. I still remember stepping into Mango and looking at that shirt and going, oh my god, 4,500, and they bought it, and it was a big day for me. It was a very big day for me. I still have that shirt. I mean, I remember asking the producers, can I keep this as a souvenir? And they said, yeah, of course, why not? So I just looked at them, I'm like, how can you do this? How can you just give stuff away like that? But ever since then, with every film I've done, there have been these outfits or pieces of jewelry, or, like a set property, something that speaks to me, something that defines my character.
Not many people know that you have a diploma in jewelry design. I want to know from you personally, as a jewelry designer, what do you think is one jewelry trend that you think will never go out of style?
Like solitaires, they can never ever go out of style. I mean, this is something that every woman should possess. Doesn't matter what size, but I think that is something that will never go out of fashion. But for me personally, I mean, that is a very business perspective, and that's the right thing to do. But I'm someone who loves antiques. Like, I have jewelry from my great grandmother, and these are things that I will always hold dear to me. So I think what our grandmothers, our great grandmothers, for that matter, even our mothers used to wear, those kind of things will never go out of fashion.
Apart from the pandemic, you're on set almost all the time. You have makeup on, you have things in your hair. How do you manage to keep your skin and hair flawless despite all of that?
Okay, to be honest, I don't have flawless skin. I do not, very honestly. But I think it is something that I actively work on constantly. I make sure that I try my best. I think what has worked for me wonderfully is hydration. And it's not just drinking water, it's making sure that your skin is internally and externally hydrated. The first step to getting things right is never sleeping with your makeup on. However late in the night, however painful your day has been, it's very, very important that you take off your makeup never wear makeup when you don't really need to. Never wear makeup. Like, so if I'm stepping out somewhere for a casual meeting, you'll never see me with makeup, because I'd rather protect my skin from that as opposed to just trying to look like a doll at all times. I make sure that, so I make this oil at home that my mom actually taught me. So it's actually a great tip for everyone. People should try it. So I use olive oil along with curry patta and amla. So I bring it to a boil and really cardo it, and then I keep it overnight, like strain it and keep it overnight in a bottle and store it in a bottle. And I make sure I use that at least once a week, and just for a couple of hours, and then steam my hair. But hair, I think I would give credit to my parents. They both have wonderful hair. Skin, पता नहीं किस पे चली गई है, क्योंकि both my parents have great skin, but I have always had trouble with my skin, very honestly. But these are things that I make sure that I do. I think this is something that everyone needs to do. Make sure that your makeup brushes are clean. एक तो वो. Secondly, make sure that you're constantly checking up on your products and making sure they either dried up or they haven't expired. A lot of people tend to use like the same lipstick for 5-6 years sometimes, but I don't think that's healthy.
And a product, a skincare or beauty product that you think is overrated?
Toners. Very honestly, maybe because they don't. I just think I'd rather do something a little more natural. Like I prefer using rose water to a toner.
One makeup or skincare tip that a makeup artist has given you that you were wondering why you haven't used earlier?
Less is more.
Thank you so much for joining me here today, Kriti.
Not at all, yeah. Pleasure's all mine. I had such a fun conversation.
Same here. Thank you for all of those insights.
Not at all. Thank you. Have a safe pandemic.